In July 2023, I took the train from London to Hendaye in the south of France to spend the summer hiking across the French Pyrenees. Starting on the Atlantic coast, I would have to hike nearly 1,000 kilometers to reach Banyuls-sur-Mer on the Mediterranean coast. And this is where it all started. This is the historical building behind me that is the start. Just opposite, there's the first stripes, and so it's fully waymarked, and a sign explaining everything about the route. Filmed getting out of Hendaye because it's just been raining continuously, mostly just a drizzle, but now it started to get a bit worse. As you can see, I'm not wearing my waterproof because it's just very hot and humid, so I figured if I'm gonna wear my waterproofs I'm gonna get all wet from the sweat anyway. So I figured as long as I don't feel like I'm getting cold, it shouldn't be a problem. I think I've walked for about 2.5 hours, and this is my first break. I should have taken a break much earlier, but because of the rain I didn't really find a good kind of semi-sheltered place to just sit. Now it's not like fully dry where I am at, but at least I'm a bit sheltered by some trees. I've arrived in a small village called Bidarray. It's not long after my previous short break, but there's public toilets here which I use and where I can sit dry. So I'm taking a longer break here because I'm sitting down and drying a bit. I just checked the weather forecast and it's gonna be raining all day. So once I'm dried up a little, I will put on my waterproof jacket. Yeah, because it just doesn't seem like it's going to stop raining, and of course I don't want to get like sick or catch a cold on my very first day. First bull spotted, and he's looking at me. So I waited for some people to come so I could join like a small group to pass the bull, which was fine. He didn't really bother much, it seemed. It finally stopped raining again for a little while. Through the gaps in the clouds there I can see the Atlantic coast, the Atlantic Ocean, which is I think more or less the first time since leaving the coast this morning because of the rain and the clouds. It's probably well past lunchtime because I'm hungry, but I haven't really eaten anything other than like a Snickers bar. That's the thing with rain, you don't really want to just sit somewhere and have a break. But since it stopped now, I'm gonna find a place to sit and give my legs a rest and have some lunch. Literally around the corner of where I sat and had my lunch, there is a kind of touristy park space with 2 restaurants, which is almost at the Spanish border. I hadn't realized that where I stopped to have tea there's actually a whole like Spanish shopping village. Since it's all like well, Spanish prices. Apparently it's very cheap compared to France. So the main thing I see is people carrying huge boxes of like alcohol. There's like supermarkets, clothes shops. I don't think there's anything in here other than just a few shops where people buy stuff in bulk. So it's pretty crazy. It's still a little early, it's 4 o'clock. But since leaving that strange shopping village, there's actually been quite a lot of really nice camping spots, like this one right behind me. I hope I'll find spots like very similar to this and the ones I've seen so far on the other side of Olet. My tent. I didn't get to Oleta as I thought I would. I'm staying just a little bit before on a really nice flat piece of land. I've had my dinner. The sun has come out, which is really nice, but I think I'm gonna go in my tent. Hopefully I'll get a good night rest. It is close to 8 o'clock in the morning, so the morning of day 2. I stayed here with 2 others, they've just left. I was hoping that my tent could dry out in the sun a bit, but I think I'm gonna have to pack it up wet anyway, because I want to get to the shops in about, I think it's close to 3 hours walk, and they close for like siesta at noon. So yeah, I want to leave at 8, which is about now. But yeah, yesterday was really good and my body feels really good. I don't have any muscle aches or anything. I do have one blister, probably because well, basically I walked with wet feet all day yesterday. Other than that, I had a really good night's sleep. And I'm excited for the second day. I am all packed up and ready to go. This section there's mostly horses rather than cows and bulls, and I'm okay with horses. The route this morning was really beautiful. It was a lot of climbing, much tougher than I expected based on what was written in my guidebook. But when I was at the Col de Trois Fontaines, it was about 10:30 and I thought the shop would close at 12. And according to the way marker, it was still an hour and 45 minutes to the town with the grocery store. So I really walked really fast going down into the village, And I thought I had just 8 minutes to spare until noon, but it turned out the show was actually open until 12:30. But still good that I thought it was 12, because otherwise I would have taken it slower and maybe not have made it. So lunch today is baguette with cheese and tomato. I also have 2 bananas and some yogurt for, I don't know, proteins, I guess. And I also got dinner, which is like a rice and lentil mix. But this is really, really good. It's been about an hour, so time for another short break. I think I have another 2 hours or something until kind of the end of the second section, and I want to go a little bit beyond that for camping today. So I think I have to go another 3.5 hours. In the distance there behind me is where I paused earlier today, the Col de Trois Fontaines. And since then it's been a lot of tarmac and cobblestone walking through more agricultural fields, more rolling hills, so it's easy walking in terms of like up and down, but yeah, the tarmac is quite tough on the feet and I still have quite a while to go. The waymarking is really good. I rarely need my guidebook or like a digital map on my phone to know where I am, where I'm going. So besides the white and red stripes or crosses, if it's not the correct route, there are a lot of these way markers like behind me that says the nearest place, how long it is in terms of kilometers as well as in time. I still have 6.5 kilometers, which should take me about an hour and 35 minutes according to the sign. So we'll see. It is 4:40 and I'm pretty beat. I still have to get down into the village called Aloha, I think, and then go back up. And on this ridge, it's not really visible, I think, on camera, but I can see 3 big white crosses. And I kind of had that in mind for camp tonight. According to my guidebook from the village, it's still 40 minutes up. But so far, everything is taking me a lot more than whatever the guidebooks indicate. So yeah, maybe another hour and a half walk in total. But I can't wait to pitch my tent and relax. I'm in Ainoa, which is a cute Basque village, but it seems made for tourists. So I'm gonna find a tourist office because across from there there's public toilets and I can refill my water. Most of the shops only have like wine and cheeses and other Basque souvenirs, but I did manage to find a cold orangina, so that's good. It will hopefully energize me a bit so I can go the last 40 minutes up to the white crosses. I am already quite far up. I don't see those 3 big white crosses yet, but I can clearly see the village Ainoa where I just came from. But still, I have a while to go because I still don't see the 3 crosses. And the road is like zigzagging up the hill but pretty steeply, so basically at every bend I have to stop and catch my breath. So I really hope I'm almost there. I'm really tired. Oh, finally. And it's next to, well, there's a lot of horses and what seems to be a chapel. So I'll find a shaded place, and I could already see some others. I think at least one the same as whom I saw yesterday. So I'm gonna pitch, drink water, I'm so thirsty, and relax for the rest of the evening. My tent is up next to the chapel under some trees, so should be nice. And there's quite a few others here. And there's water as well, there's bins, so this is a good place. It is 6:30 in the morning. It's overcast, but the valley looks really pretty. There are now 6 tents. Yeah, 6 tents next to mine, or around the area. And so far one other has woken up. I'm just gonna start packing, make coffee, make porridge, and then start the day. I've packed up and I'm ready to go. I have no idea what time it is, but I took my time with breakfast and everything, so maybe it's close to 8, no idea. But yeah, it's still cloudy, but kind of nice, so I'm looking forward to today. I should have a lot of good views and maybe add some extra peaks today. Overcast, it's just very humid, so I feel very hot. So the route goes, I think if you see that ridge there, it goes on the back of it, like just below the ridge, but it is possible to follow the ridge for I think 3 peaks and then go back down to join the official route. And since today is actually quite good, like yes, it's overcast, but that also means it's not as hot and like the sun is not beating down. So I think I'm gonna go over the ridge so that I'll have like, I expect really good views on both sides. I've been walking for about an hour and a half and I've come to a bit of a saddle where I think is where the route option to follow the ridge instead of the official route just below the ridge is. But yeah, it's time for a break, so just gonna sit here for maybe 10 minutes or so, double check my map to make sure that this is actually that junction. Alright, break time is over, and so I am taking the high route, which is to the Col de Gorospil, and that should take me 40 minutes according to the way marker, but yeah, I've learned things take longer for me. I've made it to the ridge. I'm not at the col yet, but even making it to the ridge is like definitely worth the climb. The views are just stunning. Down from the ridge and the timing was perfect because now the ridge is in clouds and I don't know, it might even be raining there. I just came up this terribly steep road and I hope I'm at the top now. And in the meantime the whole valley is kind of now covered in clouds. I'm getting hungry, so it's time for my lunch break, and the view here is really amazing. section is the steepest and apparently the worst of the whole GR10, with every once in a while like those iron ropes to help you get along. But it's spectacular. I saw so many vultures on the top of the cliff here. Really, really awesome. I'm in the village of Bidarray and we're just waiting for the shop to open, which should be now. The last 4 kilometers after a very steep section going down, um, I walked along with Marie and Gregory uh, the last 4 kilometers or so into the village. Then we had a bit of a drink to wait until 4, and now the shop is just a bit late opening. But I need to get some. I need to get lunch, but it would be good to get some dinner as well. And then probably walk for another hour or so to find a camp spot. We just left Bidarray and the sun has come out, and we've been climbing up a really steep path, but hopefully we're almost at the pass to pitch a tent. Especially I guess with the sun out, that just makes it so much harder. But the views are again really good. This climb up is pretty awful. It's incredibly steep. I had kind of hoped that in this kind of saddle there I could have pitched, but it's fully grown with fern and stuff, so there's not really any just grassy space to pitch. So still continuing a little. There was something at the waymark that was 10 minutes away, so let's hope that is a good pitching spot. We finally found a place to pitch. I'm gonna put my tent right where my backpack is, and then we'll have some good views on 2 sides.